Hava Rabbah, the song We Are Loved, speaks of the great love that God has for the children of Israel. And one way, and the way that God expressed this love was by giving us the Torah and the mitzvot and this heritage that we have, and Jewish peoplehood, the community that we have. So I'm going to invite, on that note, Debby, Radin, our president, and also one of the participants on the trip, to share some of the reflections and highlights of the trip, and also, as you'll hear, she will share some of the highlights of the love that we share and the inheritance and the joy that we share when we are together and when we celebrate together the Jewish people.
All right, everybody. Hello. Shabbat Shalom. I'm going to share some thoughts and probably, well, I'm just going to talk and add some things as I go as well. I'll say that we started our journey very, very jet-lagged. It was, as you know, any of you who have traveled across the world, we were all in a deep fog when we arrived, and we tried our very best, worked really hard to get out of this jet lag, because we knew we had a lot to do in a very, very short period of time. So jet lag, we all wanted to get to know each other, and we worked very hard, very quickly, within a couple days, to all get to know each other. We began our journey on safari. So we were in this country very, very far away from California, getting to know each other. We all were in vans. We separated into vans to get together, but in separate vans, and went off to see the most amazing animals. We saw elephants and rhinoceros and baboons and giraffes, thank you, and gorillas and everything in between, and alligators and waterfalls and incredible. And we were really, really far away from California and from Beth Am, and we knew it. And we felt very separate and in another world. And then our journey shifted, and it was only 2 or 3 days, but we shifted and we all got back into our vans and began our journey to the Abayudaya community and to Rabbi Nambi's first home, and started driving away from the animals and away from the waterfalls, and the topography changed, and we drove, and it was Friday, and we knew it was Shabbat, and we knew we had to get somewhere, and we knew we were approaching one of the first Jewish communities on our journey. We were going to see a number of different communities. So we knew we had to get there, and these roads were rutted and nothing like we had driven on before, and we had flat tires and all kinds of things that we got through together. And as we drove, there were cattle coming towards us and goats coming towards us, and we were driving away, through the goats as they were leaving market, and we were going towards the community. And then we were going to the Lyra community first, and as we approached the Lyra community, we could hear singing in the distance, and as we got closer, the singing got louder and the music got louder, and our van stopped, and the doors opened, and this joyous music, bless you, music surrounded us, and singing surrounded us, and we were ushered out of our vans and enveloped in song and music, and it was the most audacious welcome that you could ever imagine. Everything that we are taught here to be welcomed, it was that, and it was wonderful. And I think I can maybe speak for everybody there. We were welcomed and felt like the most special guests ever, but it was a little bit uncomfortable. I didn't know how to act. Do we dance with them? Do we sing? Do we smile? It was a little bit, we were guests, and there was a separation. We were ushered in to sit down, and the program started, and we sat, and two young children recited a poem, and they described us as we were an apple tree, and which was a beautiful visual. And they said, while you are here, in their poem, they recited, while you are here, just feel at home. And that was the visual the rest of our trip, just feel at home. The president then of their community got up next, and he started his talk by directing us to where the bathrooms were. and then he talked about their building fund. So we started to realize we were in another world, and yet we're really not in another world. Presidents are presidents no matter where they are. So that was kind of calming, and we walked around, and I will say, we were in another world. Their synagogue that they were raising money for was a hut. It was a dirt floor, no windows, no electricity inside. The roof was a thatched grass hut, roof, and they were raising money for lighting and to build a brick enclosure for a synagogue. So it was different, and yet they welcomed us, and we felt like we were home. We went on to other communities. We made it to another community for Shabbat that I think Todd will be talking about. But the next day, the next day we started getting ready for Hanukkah, and the Bondi tragedy had happened, and the massacre happened as we were preparing for Hanukkah. And we could have felt very isolated and alone and far from our Beth Am community. And as we joined in with the Abai Daya community to celebrate Hanukkah, they joined in with us, we joined them, and we all spoke together clearly about being Jews together in the world, and being proud of being Jewish and who we are, and speaking loudly and clearly about our Judaism. And we were one community, and we were closer than ever to who we were as Jews, and not at all isolated. When we joined in Shabbat, our voices were joined together as we were tonight. It was one voice. As we sang together, we sang with one voice. We sang with the same prayers. As the drums joined our heartbeats and the beat of the music and the dancing, we were joined together, and brought us closer to who we are as Jews. And we were truly, truly one people. Klal Yisrael was brought home for me and for us on this trip. Klal Yisrael, I've always heard it as kind of a phrase of the whole of Israel, the entire Jewish community, and it didn't hit home like it did on this trip. On this trip, we were truly family. We hugged each other. Our voices were one. Our prayers were joined together. Before we left Uganda, as we were all gathering to leave for the airport, the Lyra community that had no lights in their synagogue, we pooled our funds that we had left over and purchased solar lanterns for their community, and they're being delivered now. So as family, we have that responsibility. We learned to not only pray together and love each other and hug each other, but take care of each other. So we will continue to do that. So that was what we learned on this trip. Is Klal Yisrael. Whether we're here, it feels far away, but we are very, very close, and we will continue. So thank you. Thank you.